I don't want to accuse you of providing false documents to the court, but that's certainly what it looks like.
Court does call the case. You versus take Carla Green versus Dustin Mickles. Yes, there's Carla Green, Dustin Mickles, and Antoinette. State your names.
Carla Green, Antoinette.
Dustin.
All right. Where are we on this, folks? Because,
I filed the proper paperwork.
well, I don't know that you did. Okay, so here's the problem. I don't think that I have subject matter jurisdiction over the case, and let me just explain it so everybody knows what I'm talking about. In order for the court to obtain subject matter jurisdiction over the case, I have to have a proper notice to quit. When we were here, and I kind of explained it the last time that we were here. When we were here the last time, you were indicating to me that you gave them a notice to quit on the case. I didn't have it in my file. And I kept asking you, well, when did you serve it on them? Because I think they were saying they hadn't gotten a notice to quit. So I said that I had to have the one that has the proof of service on it. And I adjourned it out to give you an opportunity to correct that. Because if it had been served, it was. So you filed with the court a notice to quit. And importantly, on the notice to quit that you filed, it says that they had to move by February 28th, 2025. And that you served it on them March, as I'm looking at it here, March 10th, 2025 is what it looks like to me. And it says it's served by first class mail. Assuming this document to be true, I don't have jurisdiction over the case. And in fact, I'll just say this, this document, if that's the March 10th date, it can't be true because you can't tell someone they have to move by the 28th of February and not give them notice that they have to move until March 10th. The only way that this notice, as it is signed by you, can make sense is if it were served on them on March 10th, they would have until April 11th or April 10th in which to move. So when I look at the face of the documents, this notice is invalid. With the dates that are on here, it can't be true.
Additionally, went with that notice to quit, had this file, had the police officer do it the correct way, because that's what I was told to do from this court. The notice to quit. You said that I had to show proper paperwork of me serving them the correct way. So the first time I served them was January.
And we went through this the last time. You gave me, and when you were talking about the police officer serving, that's the service of the summons and complaint. That I don't necessarily, as I'm looking at it, have a problem with, that they would have received a summons and complaint from the court. They would have had an officer or somebody show up to serve that. That I'm not having the issue with, and that's what I was trying to explain at the last hearing. Because the document you handed me, that you were talking about that. What I told you was the notice to quit. I didn't have a copy of when it was served on that. Gave you the opportunity, you said you did, I gave you the opportunity to correct it. I'm not sure what date it was received, but the document that we received that was received by the court is a notice to quit to recover possession of the property. I will say two things about that. First of all, it doesn't match the top portion of that notice to quit
does not match what I have in the file, which leads me to believe that it's not the document that was served on them if it was served. Then even aside from all of that, and so in reality, it's not a valid notice to quit. But even aside from all of that, if I were to say, give me the benefit of the doubt, I'll just look at it, I'll take the dates. You can't give somebody a 30-day notice, tell them to move by February 28th, and not tell them until March 10th.
Your Honor, I think it's a misunderstanding. I served them a notice to quit on February 28th because I'm following all the court steps. She said, first of all, you have to file a notice to quit yourself. And then if they don't move, you come to court, you file this paperwork, and then you come to court. So I served them, correct?
No, you don't get to question them. What are you saying? You have to give me a proper service here. And I don't have it. I don't know what that notice to quit. You keep saying that you gave them one. I don't know what it says. Because your two notices to quit are different. The one that you gave me just recently is different than what was attached. The top portion is different than what was attached to the complaint that was filed. One is typed, the other is handwritten. It says move by the 28th, but the way it works on a 30-day, I tell you, if I were to give somebody right now a 30-day notice today, the 18th, I would say, if I serve it on somebody today,
Your Honor, I served it
April,
on January.
just don't interrupt me. April 18th, I would give them until May 18th to move.
Correct.
Your notice, on the other hand, says you have to move by February 28th, but I don't tell you that until March 10th.
That's the second.
Can't work that
That's
way.
the second notice, Your Honor. The first notice, they told me to serve it. You have to have a 30-day notice to quit. I served them the 30-day notice to quit January the 28th. So they had till February the 28th to move.
Then why don't I have a proof of service that it was given to them on January 28th? I don't have that. I told you to come back, and usually I wouldn't do it. Usually I would have kicked this case the last time. You kept telling me that you had it. I see a notice. I don't have the proof of service on the notice to quit. I gave you an opportunity to correct. What I got
Your Honor,
is an impossibility.
Your Honor, what you got is what the court told me to do. They said file a 30-day.
You're not going to blame the court. The court didn't tell you to do this, because I think this is a falsified document if you want to really get down to it. Because the notice to quit that I have in the file is typed. The notice to quit that you gave me is handwritten. It can't be the same. I don't want to accuse you of providing false documents to the court, but that's certainly what it looks like. And secondly, the date, as I indicated, and I will say, you can smile at me all you want, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I think you filed a false document, you're going to get a show cause, and you're not going to like what happens. Am I clear? The document that you gave me is a factual impossibility. You cannot tell somebody to move February 28th and serve them on March 10th. It can't happen that way, because you're telling them to move after the time that you told them to move. You can't do it. That's what's in this file. So giving you an opportunity to do that, I've given you an opportunity to correct it. You failed to correct it. I will state on the record, I think you provided to the court a false document. This court lacks subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to the cases decided by Michigan Supreme Court. I don't have jurisdiction over this case. The only thing that I can do is dismiss it. This case is dismissed for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Thank you. What'd you say? Ma'am, you better bring her back here. Bring her back here, Alan.
Your Honor,
Yeah, go back there someplace, because when she comes back in here, it is gonna be a mess.
Okay.
Don't go out into the hall yet. Call security down. I don't just want to say who wants to go next. But they're coming down. I'll wait for them to come back. Everybody doesn't have to wait for